Today, I'm going to show you how to build a day and night sensor. The sensor will detect the change between day and night and either let you power things during the day or at night. Just a word of warning before we get started. The day-night detector is basically a block update detector or bud switch. The bud switch mechanism exploits bugs and quirks of the game in order to detect changes in nearby blocks. This behavior could potentially be patched out of the game at any point and the detector would stop working. Just be warned before you start making one of your own. Also, although the day-night sensor is quite stable once built, while building it for the purposes of this tutorial, my circuitry burnt out on it a couple of times and I had to restart the server. Once it's built though, it's quite stable. Okay, let's get started. In order to make the day-night sensor, you're going to need to be familiar with pulse generators as well as RS NOR latches. If you're not familiar with either, I would highly recommend reviewing my linked tutorials. You may also want to check out my entrance lava defense tutorial because I reference it at the end of the video. Okay, let's build the sensor. You're going to start with a redstone torch, then you're going to place a block beside it and a grass block above the torch. You're going to place a redstone repeater on the block and another block beside it with a redstone torch on the front. Next, you're going to build a 3x3 grid of grass with one block missing, as well as another block on the same level with a piece of redstone wire on it. You're now going to place a single grass block. This grass block is the most important block in the whole sensor. More on that later. Next, you're going to place a sticky piston facing down and another block with redstone wire on it on the same level as the sticky piston. Now you're going to place another 3x3 grid of grass with the center block missing, as well as a final block with redstone wire on it. Now you need one regular piston, another 3x3 grid of grass with the center missing, and finally you place water inside the hole. We're now done building the day-night sensor. However, at the moment it's not set properly. Let's have a look at it from another angle and I'll show you how to fix the problem. During the day, when set properly, the top piston is supposed to be retracted like it is. However, the bottom piston is supposed to be extended. Now what we're going to do to fix the problem is we're just going to walk in here and remove the bottom piece of grass and put it just below the bottom piston. This will cause it to extend. Please note that this fix will only work when the sensor is fully built. So don't worry about fixing the problem until you finish building the entire sensor. With the sensor completed and set properly, let's have a look at how it works. In its current configuration during the day, the redstone torch at the bottom goes up through the block and provides power to the redstone repeater. This causes the second redstone torch to turn off, which then cuts power to the top piston. With the top piston retracted, this block here is now covered by 3 blocks of water. During the day, there's still enough light to keep the grass alive on this block. However, because of the 3 blocks of water, at nighttime the grass dies. This causes the bottom piston to retract. With the grass block retracted, the bottom redstone torch is no longer able to power the redstone repeater. This then allows the second redstone torch to turn on and power the top piston. It then extends and prevents the water from covering this block. The grass will stay dead for the rest of the night. However, since the water is now prevented from covering the block, the grass will grow back in the daytime and the cycle will start all over again. Now that you know how the device works, all that's left is to actually get power out of it. There's many different ways to get power out of this device. I'll show you a couple. First, if you want to get power during the day, you can pull it out from this block. Just make sure to go down one block below the redstone torch, otherwise it will interfere with it. You can also get power during the day by pulling it out of here. Finally, if you want to get power out of it at night, you can pull it out of here. Now, keep in mind that you can get power out of this device in numerous different ways, and feel free to experiment. As long as the power comes out during the time of day or night when you need it, then that method will work fine too. Now I'll hook up the day power feed again, and let's have a look at this thing in action. First we'll go from night to day, and then we'll go from day to night. Unfortunately, there's a problem with the day-night sensor. Due to the fact that we're entirely dependent on how fast or slow the grass grows or dies, it sometimes may take up to 2 minutes or more to switch states between night and day. The way to work around this is, instead of using just one day-night sensor, we're going to use 6. Before I continue, if you're having any trouble following along, keep in mind that I linked to a copy of my development world in the video description. In the world, I've got several examples of the day-night sensors that you can study at your leisure. In order to connect all 6 day-night sensors together, I'm going to connect the day power feed and the night power feed to separate pulse generators. First, I'll build the day feed pulse generator and then the night feed pulse generator. I'll start by clearing some space so it's a little easier to see. Then I'll add the redstone wire coming out of the day power feed. Now I'll add a block with a redstone torch attached to the front, and 2 redstone wires, a block with the redstone on top of it, and a redstone torch on the front of that block. Next, I'll add a little redstone wire. Now for the second layer, I'm going to add 3 blocks, a redstone torch, a redstone repeater set to a 4-tick delay, and a piece of redstone wire. This is now the completed pulse generator for the day power feed. All that's left now is to make 5 more of them and to test it out. I'm going to switch from nighttime to daytime manually and show that all 6 day-night sensors will switch states and send a pulse. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because it would take approximately 2 minutes to happen in real time. Now I'm going to show you the pulse generator for the nighttime power feed. Other than the fact that it's floating in midair, it's an exact duplicate of the pulse generator for the daytime feed, so I'm not going to go over it in detail. If you need a little more guidance, feel free to pause as you go and build it one piece at a time, or you can always download a copy of my development world, which I link to in the video description. And now I'll switch from day to night to again confirm that all 6 day-night sensors will switch states and send a pulse. Okay, let's hook up the day-night sensor to a door. Let's say we wanted the door to be open during the day, but closed at night. Now doors require a constant power source. Either the power is on and the door is open, or the power is off and the door is closed. So the pulsing of our day-night sensor wouldn't work. However, if we connect the day-night sensor to an RS NOR latch, that would solve the problem for us. Due to the nature of the RS NOR latch, when the day-night sensor switches states, only the first pulse will make a difference. So when it goes from nighttime to daytime, the first pulse will open the door, and when it goes from daytime to nighttime, the first pulse will close the door. All subsequent pulses will be ignored. Just let me connect the day power feed to one input and the night power feed to the other input, and let's see what happens. Finally, let's see what happens when we connect the day-night sensor to one of my previous projects, the entrance lava defense system. I'm going to connect the nighttime power feed to the down button, which will cause the floors to lower at night, and I'm going to connect the daytime power feed to the up button, which will cause the floors to raise during the day. If you'd like more information about my entrance lava defense system, you can check out the video here. If you liked my tutorial and would like to see more in the future, why not subscribe to my channel so that you're notified when I post new ones. A couple of final notes. First off, the day-night sensor is obviously intended to be buried. I just built it above ground for demonstration purposes. Here's an example of it when it's buried. Also, make sure not to put any light sources like torches near the special grass block that grows and dies, because if you do, it may grow and die when it's not supposed to and cause the sensor to screw up. As always, I include a link to my development world in the video description. If you'd like to download it and check out some of these circuits and devices firsthand, I'd highly recommend it.